The Indiana University New Music Ensemble was founded in 1974 by Frederick Fox. He was the longtime chair of the composition department, my teacher, or my main teacher. He directed it for maybe 20 years or so, and then it was taken over by Harvey Sahlberger, who taught here for about 8 years. Harvey is a composer, flautist, and conductor, and ran the group for contemporary music in New York City with Charles Warren, and is really well known as a conductor of new music. And actually, I was a student during those years and played trumpet in the New Music Ensemble for quite a while. After Harvey, Claude Baker and Eugene O'Brien both directed the ensemble for short periods of time. And then in the fall of 1992, I joined the faculty here, returning after teaching at the University of North Texas, where I directed the ensemble there. So they brought me back to teach composition and direct the New Music Ensemble, and I've been doing so ever since. So that's something like 27 years now, with a couple absences for sabbaticals. But it's really been my baby over the last, more than a quarter of a century, I guess. But that's one big reason I'm here at IU is because it's so fun working with this excellent group of musicians. The New Music Ensemble consists of 18 core players, 4 woodwinds, 4 brass, 5 strings, 2 percussion, 2 piano, and harp. And then we bring in extras like guitar or saxophone or singers as needed depending on the repertoire. When I took over the ensemble, it was doing 2 concerts a semester, and it's a very generous amount of rehearsal time, like 6-7 weeks to prepare a program. So it could be very thorough, sectionals. The music that we play is generally quite difficult, or at least some of it is. But I just, in the end, felt like that was too long on the repertoire, and I wanted to give the students more performing opportunities. So we changed to 3 concerts this semester, and that's what I've been doing for quite a while now. So we have 3 or 4 weeks to prepare a program, which is still longer than the orchestras here, for instance. But again, the music, tends to be challenging, and the players are new every year. So I kind of have to start from scratch at the beginning of the year, and there's a lot of training on very complex rhythms, and but we work on all the normal musical stuff too, phrasing and intonation and ensemble. But it's worked very well, I think, having the more frequent concerts. And so we do 6 concerts at least every year. Often we'll repeat one or play part of a program somewhere else. In recent years, we've done some projects such as playing a concert at the Buzzkirk Chumley Theater with special guest Wu Man, who's a pipa player, famous pipa player from Yo-Yo Ma's Silk Road Ensemble and whatnot. And she was brought in by Ed Komatale and the Arts and Humanities Council as a special guest during the China Remixed celebration. And so we played a joint concert with her, which was kind of an extra thing for that year. Just this past year, the ensemble was asked to play a concert in Mexico City at the opening of IU's new Gateway Center. This was in late May of 2018. And so what we did for that was reprised a couple pieces that we had played during the season, and then we also learned an additional piece or 2 to do something by Gabriela Ortiz, who's a famous composer in Mexico City, and we have some relationship with. And we had all 5 composers for the program in attendance, a couple from IU, Gabby down there, and also one of our alums, Francisco Cortez, who is teaching in Mexico City, and he's got a beautiful piece that he composed for the New Music Ensemble, so we played that, and it was terrific. Directing the New Music Ensemble involves programming the 6 concerts a year, so I made more work for myself, adding 2 concerts to the year. But basically, a concert is built around a guest composer. I try to bring in a guest composer for every program. and we pretty much do. So a concert will have one or two works by the guest composer, maybe a work by a student or faculty, and then maybe another piece or two from the repertoire to round the program out. Once in a while, it's possible to make a theme in the program or have some programmatic focus, like tomorrow night our concert is a Halloween concert. And it just so happens that Robert Patterson, our guest composer, has two pieces that fit that perfectly. Closet Full of Demons, which is an ensemble piece, and then Ghost Theater, which is a piece for soprano, mezzo-soprano, and ensemble. And we'll be doing that with a film that's projected above the ensemble. And then that's the first half. The second half is H.K. Gruber's Frankenstein, which I seem to do every 10 years or so. This is the third time I've done it. But it's a very fun piece for baritone, based on some kind of satirical poems by Artman, and it'll be really fun. And the ensemble will be in costume. But in general, it's kind of hard to come up with a clever thematic program when I have such restrictions from the repertoire of the guest composer, whatever faculty or student work might be done, and then a real puzzle is just trying to use everybody in the ensemble, because we have 18 players and they're in the ensemble for ensemble credit. Some schools, the new music ensemble is an ad hoc group put together, in addition to whatever the students are doing for their ensemble credit, playing in orchestra or band. But the players in the new music ensemble, that's their ensemble for the semester. So I feel that it's important to use them on the concert. So that restricts me to certain repertoire. I tend to do large ensemble pieces, not too much chamber music. Once in a while there'll be a piece on the program. But, I want to give everybody a chance to play. So coming up in spring semester, we have a number of premieres with the ensemble, which is typically the case. We have a couple internal composition commissions that we give out to students. One is through our annual Dean's Prize, and the other is through the Georgina Joshi Memorial Composition Commission Award. It's a long title, but that commissions the work from a student for a piece for voice and ensemble. And then there's just the regular New Music Ensemble Commission. Starting next year, we'll have a third commission specifically for an undergraduate composer. So that's 2 or 3 student works, and they need time to write it, so that means they're usually in the spring semester. Additionally, this year, one of the theory faculty, Andrew Mead, has written a piece for us, and we'll be premiering that in January. Very challenging serial piece, lots of angular lines and 12-note phrases. No, not exactly, but so let's see. And then we also have other commissions to composers outside of school. A couple of years ago, maybe 5 or 8 years ago, we started inviting an alumnus composer every year. Rob Patterson tomorrow is an alum. He got his master's degree here. And so we were having an alum composer every year. A couple of years ago, I began inviting those composers to compose works for the New Music Ensemble. Not that I have funds to commission the work, but I can write a letter of support if they're applying for a grant. And one of those worked out just recently. An alumnus, Eric Nathan, just won a Fromm commission, a commission from the Fromm Music Foundation at Harvard University. And so I'd written a letter of support for that, and we'll be premiering that a year or 2 from now with him as guest composer. So odd things like that come up from time to time as well. Yes, over the many years of the ensemble's existence, we have played off campus a number of times. We've played concerts in New York, maybe 4 or 5 times. We did some big tours of the West Coast and then of the East Coast, and then just one-off run-outs for various things. For a few years, we were playing a concert every year at the University of Louisville. This December, Don Freund is directing the ensemble for 1 month and working on his opera based on Romeo and Juliet, and that's a collaboration with the Indianapolis Opera. So the ensemble is going to go up to Indy to do a second performance of that there. So yeah, I think it's great for the school to showcase the new music ensemble, sending it out. I have visions of doing a tour to Korea at some point. It would take some serious funding, but because it's like 20-25 people that you would bring on such a trip. But we have so many alumni, not only of the School of Music, but the composition department. We have many composers from Korea come through our program, so I think it would be a fantastic experience for the ensemble and way to connect with our alumni in Korea. It's great that we're streaming concerts now. Tomorrow night's concert will be on the live stream, and some of those get archived, so people can check those out at the School of Music website.